So our number 13, administrative policy, issue of commendations, proclamations, and certificates. Thank you.
So very similar to the last item, the purpose of this is to establish guidelines for recognition of individuals, groups, and events of significance to the community by issuance of commendations, proclamations, and certificates. Again, the city does not have a formal policy for council members and the public to request recognition. So the process would be very similar to the last in that an individual would submit a recognition request, which includes the written endorsement of at least one council member. And then in terms of approval, it would be the same process as the previous item, and that either the mayor signs off or 2 additional council members sign off. And so the types of recognition that the city currently has is a commendation, which would be an official decree awarded for exemplary service to the community. A proclamation, which generally proclaims certain periods of time in honor of an event or activity promoting health, welfare, heritage of the community, and public service retirements. I will note the way it's currently written, commendation could be used for public employee retirements that are greater than 20 years, but you could use the proclamation as well. And then you have certificates, which recognize significant birthdays, express appreciation for exemplary service rendered to the community, or closed council meetings in memorial of individuals. So one other thing to consider is that other agencies have other types of recognition. And so I brought forward to you a policy that documents what we currently issue in terms of commendations, proclamations, and certificates, but other agencies have different terms for them. If council wanted to change those terms, that's something that we could explore. But you have distinguished service awards, certificates of appreciation, certificates of congratulations, honorary citizen certificates, church clergy anniversary certificates, community service awards. You could come up with a plethora of awards, but this would be the opportunity for council to talk about. If you're happy with the commendations, proclamations, and current certificate process, that's great, but here would be your opportunity to discuss if you want to expand that to include any other items. What I've seen other agencies do as well, particularly in Southern California, where you'll see where they do tiles, where it's, a tile that's either like the insignia of the city, and for very special awards, the person would get a tile. So there's a lot of different options out there, but what this item would do is clarify the process to receive recognition, request recognition, but I just wanted to put out there to council that this would also be an opportunity to discuss the different types of recognition. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Anybody from the public care to comment? All right. Go for it.
Do you mind, Councilman Baumgartner?
What's that? Oh,
As he hit his button as well.
I don't have an indicator who went first here.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm the procedure guy. I'm the one that brought this forward as well. Just the point of clarification of why, again, I'm asking for this and asked for this to be agendized. The process we had before was much like requesting funds to go to an event, call the office. I want a proclamation. I want this. I want that. And again, there was no continuity throughout the council. And if we're giving proclamations, certificates, awards, they're from the council. They're from the city. And this just basically formalizes and keeps things that, like a proclamation, that should be lifelong achievements, that should be something that's very special, very coveted from the city, like the key to the city, special as they are, and allows us the flexibility to recognize others, but as a council, not individuals. So that's kind of the background. So thank you, Ms. Langley, for bringing what you did. I like the others, and I could see a plethora of things we could do with all of those, but tonight I'm just happy myself with the formal policy of, just like we did the other, council person, mayor, 3 council members, because it gets us all engaged as we're recognizing someone for any particular achievement.
Hi.
Hi.
Through the mayor. In the past, I know the city has used gold resolutions for certain events. So has the county. So maybe Taro, you can help me out here a little bit, because I know we've given gold resolutions, especially when it's been retirements and that sort of thing. Is that something that
we never called them gold resolutions?
Okay.
But it's on special paper with the a nice frame, and it was for major retirements.
Yeah. So,
Just special paper.
well, it's just the difference between a resolution and a proclamation. I'm not going to get down in the weeds on it. I was just looking for clarification because I know I got one. So resolutions, proclamations, can we do resolutions too? I think that's what the county does as well. I know that's what the county does as well.
Yeah, we could add resolutions. Essentially, the wording would be the same. It's just
Right.
what you call, whether you call it a proclamation or resolution at the top. So, absolutely, we could add resolutions.
So just for consistency here, and not to beat this up, when the assemblyman and the senator come, are they giving proclamations or resolutions?
Resolutions.
Okay. Maybe we want to be consistent.
Okay.
Enough said.
Go
Through
ahead.
the mayor, thank you. So it was clearly noted that there were some proclamations given out and some certificates. So just to be clear, I was the person who requested those proclamations and acknowledgements because individuals from the community asked me if they could be recognized for some of their work. So I'm just kind of seeing a trend, nothing big about it, but I'm finding that within our council, things are kind of surfacing where, a council member may say something or do something, and then all of a sudden, we need a procedure. And a council member may say or do something, and, oh, we need a procedure. So I clearly get it. This is hopefully a team of 5, And so as a council member, in the interaction about this, it was never to say, perhaps, Council Member Shaw, I got those proclamations first. It wasn't to isolate the situation with one particular council member. I was just responding to the community and wanting to do good work for the community. That's all the intention has been. And so I'm very much a systems person as others. And I do like procedures and I like regulations. I like to be accountable. It's part of the job. It's just, I don't necessarily have to say it every week because it is just who I am. But in this, I just wanted to say that because there is this sense of I find there's a need sometimes just to allow the process to kind of work its way through, and let's not get so boggled down with all of these issues. I don't want to get boggled down. I don't want the community to feel boggled down. I want the community to hopefully see that we are truly, truly working for the best of this community in every way. And so if we give a certificate of a congratulations to Elaine, and I say Elaine should get one, right? And maybe a fellow council member may say, well, shoot, I should have thought of that first, right? And I'm like, well, I'm not in the competition here. I'm trying to do the work of the community. I'm trying to do the work of the city and the governance. And so I feel like the more procedures, the more we're going to get boggled down and more bureaucratic process. And apparently we're trying to be business friendly, but we're really seemingly not being super friendly to our staff because we're asking them to be more required to do more paper procedure. I understand with the money is very clear. There's $55,000 set aside. This is a resolution proclamation. Truthfully, I didn't know the difference. I just, hey, what do we do? The staff helped me. They were trying to be helpful. They were trying to be servants to us as we serve the community, and we all help each other out here. So yes, I thought Black History Month is an important time in our world that we need to have a proclamation. You know, with the other church, 25 years of service, you know, we needed. The kids today, did you not see how engaged they were just in this moment of coming in today for their certificate? So if we want to get really fuller in procedures and manuals, let's do it. Let's load it up. But I'm just thinking that this is just another piece of paper that we're just pushing along. I want it to be genuine. I want it to be sincere. And I want anyone who comes around asking that I don't feel like, oh, I have to go check. Let me go check if I can't even help you. So you heard my thoughts. You could agree, disagree with me. But I'm here to serve you. I'm not here to add more procedures with this particular issue.
Go ahead. Can I say something?
Okay, sure.
All right. Thank you for that, and thank you for that. Thank all of you for your comments, and forgive me. I think the point of this is to clarify the different types of awards that we give to our community, because we have so many people that are so deserving of recognition. However, when we have a proclamation, which was the same document for 51 years of service for a business, and we're going to give the same document to somebody else for 5 years, for example. This process here, and I am in favor of adding every one of those to our options, along with the plaques and the gold. We can get into those details in a minute, but it gives us options because things are very specific, and if we protect the proclamation resolution is way up there. Same with the Medal of Valor and whatnot through the PD and the fire department. But we want to make sure we maintain and protect the integrity of the process. And if we just start passing them out on our own program on behalf of the entire council, I think we run the risk of losing that. If we have one check and balance, especially since we're representing all of us, I think it's worthy of doing. And I don't believe, and I'm not aware of a lot of extra staff time. It's just a matter of a phone call to me, probably, is all it's going to take to get approval. Maybe approval is not the right word, but I think it adds balance, particularly since something is coming from the entire council on behalf of the entire city. I think that's important that we add that one step into the process. Not to take away from anybody, and it's certainly not a race for whoever suggested it first, because it does come on. We are a team of 5, and one idea is all of our idea when we leave that door right there. So I think that's reasonable, and I would support adding, just to clarify what our options are, what the criteria are for each option, and we'll add the layer of a phone call just for perspective purposes and to maintain the integrity and the value of what these mean. So that's it.
Okay, through the mayor. The only issue I have is, I believe it was accommodations. It said 20 plus years for employees. I think that, an employee, after, I'm suggesting that it should be 5 years. Because we just had a wonderful officer retire just the other day, detective that did 12 years of service with us, and if it's 20 plus years, he did 12 wonderful years with us, was a great man, dedicated himself here for 12 years. He came to us when he was a little bit older in life, got to leave and move on and got to retire. So I think I would just like to drop that down to 5 years is what on that. Can you help me on that, Diana? Was it the certificates or the commendation?
Right, is
It
under
said 20 years.
commendation, so it says awarded to local resident, organization, business, dignitaries, council members, committee, commission, board members, city staff, retiring, leaving with 20 or more years of service. But then what I heard tonight from Councilman Boomgarden is we would actually change that to resolutions to recognize years of service for employees.
Okay. So then we don't need to drop that down to 5 years. It could be,
Right, so
it
we
could be
would-
5, it could be 105. It's
So
all.
we would add an item to this policy to include resolutions and identify that resolutions would be utilized to recognize years of service.
Okay.
If I interpret Councilman Boomgarden's request correctly.
You did.
Thank you.
So the 20 years is going to be deleted and it'll just be years of service.
We'd add resolutions to recognize
Okay,
years of service.
that's the only thing I wanted to, that's the only comment that I wanted to say because it had said 20 years. So.
Thank you.
Would you like me to make a motion? Or, okay.
Actually,
Oh.
Mr. Mayor, question. The way I interpreted the policy as written is, say, for example, I was to make a recommendation for accommodation, but the mayor said it was worthy of a proclamation. There's always the ability, that's just guidelines, but we
Right.
can always jointly move it up or down as we come to an agreement. And I really want to go back a little earlier, and then Vice Mayor, you can make your motion. But, this isn't about bureaucracy. This is about inclusiveness because, like you said, this comes from the council. And I agreed with the proclamations that you did. But it would have been nice if we'd all known about it before we got the agenda a couple of days earlier because it does come from the entire council and the city. So that's what this process ensures.
Through the mayor. And to respond to that, I follow the procedure that is in place now, Councilman Shaw. And that is not to minimize our staff, because the staff was doing what they were accustomed to doing. And, but, there's opportunities to resolve the issue, because and I appreciate Mayor Harris, because he, modified this last one, which was perfect. It was perfect. That's what needed actually to be done. And once I learned that, I was like, oh yeah, it was supposed to be an acknowledgement. I get the proclamation piece, I think. We're getting a year to it, a year or two more of it. I mean, I've been given resolutions and other things as well, and it hasn't been because I've been doing it for 50 years, because I'm not even 50 yet, if you get that one. That's a joke. So that, there's people that achieve things earlier in life sometimes. So let's not battle them for that achievement. So moving on, we got bigger things to deal with.
So that being said, I would like to make a motion on the administrative policy of commendations, proclamations, and certificates on staff's recommendation.
I'll second.
Wait,
Before we vote, or maybe either one of you can answer, do we need to include the fact that we're adding these and the plaque and the gold award as well? Or because it's not included in the...
Thank you. My understanding is that there would only be a change with regards to adding a resolution process for employee recognition. If that's not the case, we need to clarify that as a part of the two people who did the motion as to whether or not they wanted to include that or not, and what that would be.
You want to add all these, Diana?
Well, I would note that many of these are certificates. So as long as we just recognize certificates is already in the policy, but you might have different certificates for different things. And so then really the only difference would be the Community Service Award, whether or not you want a separate award for that. And then the Distinguished Service Award, I'm really taking that as being your resolution that you were referring to. So it'd just be a matter of if you want to add something different, whether it's the plaque or whatever for the Community Service Award, because we did not discuss plaques.
I would recommend adding plaque. We're kind of backtracking here. The certificate of appreciation, certificate of congratulations, honorary citizen certificates, and we'll have the option of church and clergy. And I agree that the CSA and the distinguished service would fall under the other purview. So if we added those as part of the friendly amendment, that would be in line with what we're talking about.
And Mr. Vice Mayor, do you accept that as a friendly amendment as well?
I sure do.
Thank you, just want to make clear.
Friendly guy.
Yes, he is.
We had a
All those in favor?
Yep.
Aye.
Aye.
And opposed, none. Thank you very much. We made that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Dale, you're here for something. Are you just watching? Or you're
He's learning.
We brought popcorn.
Where's the butter?